Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. Let's take a drink. Oh, yes. Dreamcast and GameCube and Dreamcast and GameCube and Projekt. The underrated consoles tee is on the merch store right now. The Side Projekt merch store links are always in descriptions and bios and everything like that. How is everybody doing, man? Yes, other than that, let's waste no time, especially because my guests for this week have a limited amount of time because we are doing this so last minute, which is not their fault. It's actually not their fault. It's not their fault. It's actually my fault. You guys don't even want to know. And as you can probably tell, I'm absolutely exhausted. It's early in the morning for me. Kind of. I mean, I got up really early in the morning. But anyway, and also I've got limited time because next week, or maybe by the time you're watching this, who knows, I might be in Vegas already for Anime Las Vegas, but I digress. God, you can tell this is going to be one of those episodes. It's early in the morning, guys. My guests for this week have been here a few times because we are frequent collaborators. I have been a guest and a co-host on their podcast before as well. They are podcasters, editors. One does audio for the podcast. The other is oftentimes a graphic designer. One is also a voice actor with his most recent role as the main villain, the Dark Knight, in the Review Time Productions Power Rangers Cavaliers, which I also did the theme song for. They are very knowledgeable gamers, and that's what makes them the gaming duo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Rob the Robot and Kelvin the Kevlar Vest of the Gaming Duo Podcast. Yes!
Never miss. You never miss with those intros, buddy.
Thank you, man. I feel like I'm running on crack as well. I took like an Alpha Brain and like I drank a bunch of, I don't drink like a lot of caffeine or anything, but I do drink iced tea. That's how I get my like little bit of caffeine, you know? So I was like down in some iced tea and ate a bunch of healthy shit today. And I just feel like I'm on like little sleep, but I also feel like I'm on crack at the same time. You know what I mean? How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
I'm good, man. I feel like we just spoke to you, right? It was
not
too long ago.
Yeah, I
wonder
feel like
why. Wonder why.
I'm on your guys' latest episode. Me and Colin, we're on there. Colin K. Bass, we're on there right now. It's out right now. So yeah, this feels like we just did this a few hours ago.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm stoked, man.
Oh man, I'm glad.
Like 84 hours ago, something like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Think about it. It was basically, you know.
Technically, yeah. No, man, thank you guys for being here such last minute. This is quite literally last minute in so many different ways. So I appreciate you guys making it happen, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel so comfortable right now. You know what I mean? Like this shirt that I have on right now.
Yes,
guys, like,
dude.
It is comfortable, dude.
The Projekt
I just love feeling myself.
shirt, man. I like it, dude.
Oh, good, dude.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man.
Fantastic shirt, man. I love it.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you, dude. Well, man, let's dip right into things, man. Kind of like how I dip my balls in candle wax every other Thursday night. It's Candle Wax Thursdays. I'm going to take a page out of your guys' book. On your guys' show, you ask people what you've been playing. You guys even ask each other, you and Rob, when you don't have guests as well, and you guys discuss like what you've been playing and everything. And I haven't had the opportunity to talk about games in a while because I always have like a lot of cosplay guests, but if you've noted, which is nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but I always get excited when I get to talk about games because I don't as often, but I've been sprinkling in a lot of game talk, even with the cosplay guests, if anybody has noticed that. But like we said a minute ago, I was just on your latest episode. Me and Colin K. Bass, we were on there together, and you asked us what we've been playing, and I don't think you stated what you've been playing. I know Rob talked about it and you said Final Fantasy, right? Is it, or was it the other way around? I don't remember.
No, I think we're talking about wanting to play Final Fantasy.
Is that what it was? Because you asked me and Colin what we've been playing, and then yes. I swear somebody said Final Fantasy, but I don't think Kelvin in that episode, unless I'm just mistaken, I don't think he answered.
Correct.
So what? I'm gonna throw it back on you then. What have you been playing?
So Rob's playing, or just finished playing Resident Evil 4.
That's what it was.
What he was playing.
I actually just beat it since the last episode. Last I was playing it. Now I'm not playing it anymore because I beat it already. Like
that's
last
what
night.
It was. Yeah.
So,
and I did that intentional because the reason why I didn't say anything is I've been playing the same game for like 3 months now. And I'm not going to keep repeating myself. But since we last recorded, things have changed. I have finally beat Metroid Fusion, right?
There we go. Oh, it's so
finally.
fitting for this episode too. Very Nintendo going on here.
100%, dude.
How was that?
Super excited to finally finish that game. So I have some gripes with it, but I definitely enjoyed most of it. I think it's a little. It's kind of set in ways of like it's kind of hard because of the 2D aspect to it, and just trying to find the fake blocks or like the fake walls that they kind of sprinkle in there. Yeah. It's tough to find, and I beat the game in about 5 hours and 47 minutes, which apparently is a little bit longer than expected.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounds fast.
Game.
Hey, I didn't know how big the game
fast,
was. Yeah.
Apparently it's like a 4-hour game. I beat it in like 4. But regardless, I had a blast. I had a great time. I love the ending. I do want more, but I think I'm going to take a little break of like on Metroid in general and just kind of relax a little bit. So once I finished that, I literally went to the eShop. I purchased Mega Man Network.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I haven't tried that out yet. And then I downloaded the demo for the Bayonetta, like the Cereza.
Nice. Yes. Hell yeah.
And I tried that earlier today. So far, so good. I played like 10 minutes, so I haven't really dabbled too much, but it is phenomenal so far.
Hell yeah, dude. And Rob, what are you looking forward to then, since you just beat Resident Evil?
I think right now I'm happy that I beat Resident Evil 4 remake. Like that's I could close the book on that. I'm honestly mentally and physically preparing for Tears of the Kingdom coming up. Like
spiritually, he's spiritually preparing. He's everything.
Just
you gotta get prepared.
Cleanse.
I know exactly what you mean.
He's like meditating in the mornings and at nights.
Yeah, seriously. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also like kind of mentally preparing. I've been watching so many like YouTube videos of all things about Zelda. Like I've just been absorbing, which is, I don't know. Some people may also like do the like kind of like a cleanse and not do so much Zelda stuff because they're going to be doing so much Zelda stuff with Tears of the Kingdom. But I'm actually the other way around. I've been like just watching random shit like about random lore that I thought I knew about, but apparently I didn't know enough. And like, and then, when you watch stuff, stuff comes up like recommended, you know what I mean? So now it's like just Zelda all throughout my YouTube left and right. And I've just been watching all kinds of Zelda stuff, getting prepared, man. But
I just want to say real quick, I'm so happy for you guys specifically. Like I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, but I am excited to play it. I'm not going to not buy it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it day one, but I'm excited for you two specifically because I know you guys are such huge like Zelda fans, and for this to come out, like the last trailer that we just saw, we'll talk about it if anything.
My God,
it was great, right? So I got excited. I can't imagine what you guys felt, and to know that it's a month away, like I'm so happy for you guys for some reason, like just to have that, like.
No, I do want to touch on it real quick. We might as well, since you brought it up on your episode, which is out right now with Colin and I think we touched on that very briefly as well, where because it was right before the trailer came out, which is out now, the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, and I mentioned that I kind of didn't want a trailer to come out. We didn't need to see anymore, and this and that. But then I also saw both sides of that spectrum. And I said like, but there's just so much in this game. You're probably not going to really be spoiling shit. The game's so huge. And, and I feel that way. I feel the second way. I saw the trailer and I was like, it's amazing. It was amazing being able to see Ganon. Right? Yeah, exactly. It did what it was supposed to do.
So what's crazy is I actually have an appointment with the surgeon when Tears of the Kingdom.
You were about to say like an appointment with somebody in Nintendo. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm like, Reggie?
No, like what was going on?
And I'm gonna have him surgically attach the Switch to my hands when Zelda comes out, so I can't stop playing.
Wasting no time. I can't do anything else. I have to play Tears of the Kingdom. I can't wait for it, dude. I'm so stoked.
In all seriousness, though, the trailer really kind of paid homage to the last trailer for Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of had that same feel. It was very cinematic, very like not story heavy, but definitely had story elements into it. Overall, freaking crazy.
Yeah, this game looks like it. I think I texted to you guys in the group text. Like it just looks like absolute chaos at every turn.
Yeah,
like
it looks like is there going to be a time to be like to breathe?
Yeah, exactly. And I know they do that for trailer's sake, but I'm just saying like the world itself, like the way that they have Tears of the Kingdom and everything, it just looks like it's just disaster at every turn. You know what I mean?
It's like overwhelming. Like
everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah, everything. It's fucking crazy. I can't wait for it though. You know what I don't like though? I don't know if you guys. And this is not supposed to be the bread and the butter, but I can't stop talking about Zelda, man. But I'm not. Are you guys big on like crafting in games?
No,
me neither. Me neither, dude.
It really depends on the game, honestly, to do that. Like if they execute it right, then it could be really fun. But historically, I've never been the biggest fan of crafting, but I have seen games that do it very, very well. So I'm interested,
man. Like like I can't think of a game where I'm like stoked to craft anything. Like,
Can I ask you a question, Chazzy?
Yeah.
1000%.
Are you Assassin's Creed fan? Obviously, right? You're a big Assassin's Creed. Now, I know in some form they had like some kind of like tower defense. I think they had it in 4 and some of like Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Did you like that aspect of Assassin's Creed?
You know what? I kind of did, actually. I kind of did. But I mean, it never really made a return. I think it was only like in 2 games, right? So like
I think it was like 4.
Was it
maybe?
more than that? I don't remember. That's how little I kind of remember. But I remember it, but I don't remember like exactly how everything went. But I don't remember hating it. But it also wasn't obviously that memorable. So maybe it wasn't as fun as I'm thinking I had when I had it. But I just don't remember hating it. I remember enjoying it. So I guess I kind of get what you're saying. Like, it kind of just depends on the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't think of any game. Like, what's another, like Skyrim? You craft in Skyrim too, right?
Oh my God.
I think I tried to avoid having to do that in Skyrim at all costs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it when it's that intricate. And I still haven't seen the gameplay trailer. I'm going to eventually watch it. I've decided I'm probably going to watch it. But I haven't seen the gameplay trailer, but I know there's crafting stuff in it. How deep is the crafting? Does it look in Tears of the Kingdom?
Go ahead, Rob. I think it's a little deep, but you could speak more of it than I can.
It doesn't seem like it's what you make it, I guess is what I'm saying. So you can get super intricate if you want, but you don't have to. It seems like
that's what I want. I don't want to have to.
Yeah, and then we spoke about this in, I don't know what episode this was at this point, but whenever the trailer what came out, it looks like Rob said, you can kind of do it however you please. If you want to go really dive into the crafting and go balls deep in there, you can.
Yeah.
But if you kind of just want to do it superficial and just kind of get to where you need to get to, you can do that as well. You know, I mean, they showed crafting as far as like, you know, the items that you collect during the game, they're not just useless items anymore. You're able to pick up items like an eyeball or a branch or whatever,
and
you know,
do
and
something
then make
with
it something.
Yeah.
You make something out of it, which is great, I think that's a great way to remove that aspect of RPGs of games like this, like open world games, because a lot of them have pointless materials and pointless items that you just grab and you never use. This allows you to use it for specific reasons. And if you want to get into deep, if you want to go deep into it, you can. Otherwise, you don't have to.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I'll see, when I get my hands on it, but just the thought of it, I'm like, I don't want to have to craft while
I'm right there with you,
everything else is going on in Zelda. Like, I don't want to have to craft on top of it. You know what I mean?
I just don't want them to give me if I have to get from point A to point B, I have to build this intricate looking like boat or motorcycle or whatever it is and collect 10 different things, another 20 different things here, and then find a way to craft something that's like never before, something like that gets too out of hand.
It's too much for me.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not for everybody, but some people are really stoked about it. I see a lot of people actually, to be honest with you, that are like really stoked about it. I'm just like, that's not for me, man. But
also real quick, I saw something on the internet, I think it was on Twitter. Someone called Breath of the Wild or Zelda in general like an RPG game. And I questioned it. I was like,
is it?
It's not considered an RPG. It's an open world action
adventure. That's what I was going to say. Action. It's always been labeled as action adventure.
Is it a role playing game? I guess that's, you got to break that down, right? Like, what is a role playing?
Break it down. Right.
I don't think
if you think of, what's the name of the game? Final Fantasy 16 is coming out. That's super actiony, right? But it's still considered an RPG, but you're third person, just hacking and slashing and that stuff. So I think what it comes down to is there building elements, not building element, but like leveling up elements,
skill trees or something like that.
I think that is what makes it RPG.
When I think of RPG, I think of the Elder Scrolls franchise.
Right.
I think of World of Warcraft, even if they're MMOs.
Right.
I think of so then would Assassin's Creed, like the latest couple ones, be considered RPGs because they have skill trees and like all that stuff? Some have
probably
elements of crafting.
Yeah.
It's however you see it, I feel like. I mean, it just dawned on me when I saw that because I'm like, I never really thought of it. I always considered it as like an open world.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really thought about what Zelda was labeled in general. It's Zelda. It's like its own thing to me.
But then this certain individual said it was an RPG and he just got roasted.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm like, Jesus. But then it made me start thinking, I'm like, wait, he's not necessarily wrong, but I mean, it's just to each their own, I guess. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting.
I don't know. I never really thought about it. I guess it is. Now that's an interesting thing though. Like, what truly makes a game an RPG then? Because there's tons of
question.
Go ahead.
Pokemon is Pokemon RPG.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not an open world.
Well,
but what makes it RPG?
Everything, literally everything.
You know, maybe I'm not well versed enough on Pokemon to truly give an in-depth thought process on that one.
I think every game now, action adventure game,
has
for
elements.
the most part, has elements. I think that there should be a subcategory that's like an RPG element. Like this game is an action adventure with RPG elements.
Yeah,
right?
that
and
makes
I think
sense.
That's where Zelda falls. Right?
I think
because Zelda has like the ability to craft, the ability to. You don't level up, do you? I don't know. You don't level up.
Not necessarily. Not like
you level up your skills, and that's about it.
Skills,
and you can. I mean, and you can technically level up your gear.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have a skill tree per se. You just you gain different experience, like gain different things.
Yeah.
So it's a very complex conversation.
It really is. That's interesting as shit, though. I wonder. Yeah. Now it makes me wonder, like, if we were to Google it, I'm not going to do it right now, but if we were to Google it, what does Nintendo label it as? Because you know how you could have like for instance, if you're looking at like on Steam, it'll say like action,
right,
that, and it'll have like 3 different labels for what that game is. I don't think Nintendo labels it as an RPG, but watch me be wrong though. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right.
I think want to look at it.
All right, fuck it, find it.
You're always the one that searches things up here.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. But that's a great question. It's like, what do you label as an RPG? What don't you label? I know we're kind of steering to a different.
No, it's cool. What does it say? What does it say?
It's actually a bunch of things. They kind of like it says genre is adventure, action, role playing, and other.
Okay, so role playing's in there.
So it is.
So that guy that got roasted, everybody needs to chill because he's right.
Poor guy, man. He probably like is depressed now, and
I know he's probably sitting there looking on Google, going, "But I'm right. I'm right."
All he did was post like a GIF or something, and then that's it.
Oh my god!
We're here for you, guys. We're here for you. We're defending your honor.
I mentioned on your guys' show that I've been getting my hands back on like my Switch lately and playing Mario Kart again, partly and thanks to DreamHack. I went out to DreamHack San Diego and I played Mario Kart live there in like a tournament thing. And I've been playing some Super Mario Sunshine again lately as well. And that has sparked due to watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie. You guys saw it. I saw it. I don't know who tuning in has seen it or not, but we're going to get into spoiler territory here. We're going to talk about it, pick it apart, and just talk about our favorite things. So unfortunately, if you don't want to be spoiled, you can skip ahead. Timestamps are in the description wherever it is that you're watching right now, and you can skip ahead. This is kind of a semi-improv episode, so I have no idea how long this conversation is going to run on, but editing Chazzy will figure it out, and timestamps will be in the description. If you haven't seen the Super Mario movie and don't want to be spoiled, you can continue this episode and just skip ahead. That is your warning. Other than that, grab your side project mug of choice and your nipple tassels, because
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
There's so much fan service, or maybe game service would be a better term since it's a game movie adaptation, you know, that I would love to touch on and point out all of these awesome moments with you guys, man. And the movie was quite literally a dream come true for me. There's so many reasons why it was a dream come true. And I haven't really talked about it. We're doing it here right now, other than a spoiler-free little review that I gave on like my IG stories and on Twitter. So, I mean, I guess let's start with that since you guys are here and now. I mean, you like it, you love it, the likes, the dislikes, what you wanted to see that you didn't. I mean, just overall, before we pick it apart a little bit more, overall feelings on the Mario movie. What did you guys think?
It was a ride. I was focused and pleasantly entertained from beginning to end. I loved everything about that time that I was in, and that few hour and a half or so. I had a really great time just watching it, and it just brings back so many memories, and it just kind of makes you feel like a kid again. Like when you're just watching all these things just play out, and the things that they did, you can really tell they put their heart and soul on like what would make this fan service, like what would make this entertaining for people that play the game, that have played the game for several years, or even newcomers as well. Like they just blended that in so perfectly, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
The game, I'm gonna do that a lot. I'm gonna try to not say the game. The movie does a great job of bringing in that fan service, but it also has a little bit of issues that I don't know if you guys want to talk about the main issues right now, but I know Rob, wants to talk about what he did enjoy. But I overall, I enjoyed it. I had a really great time.
The entire time I was watching the movie, I had a giant smile on my face.
Me too, dude.
You can't. So for me, that tells you a big story about the movie. Now, were there little things that Kelvin said you could pick apart? But yes. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a Mario movie. It's mostly, for the most part, directed, geared towards children, kids.
Yeah.
Right. So, but they paid enough homage to adults that grew up with the franchise to see these things like little wee Easter eggs that made you be like, oh,
exactly. Oh. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think they executed that in a phenomenal way. I think a lot of the things you're kind of pointing at, Kelv, is they might have played it too safe for a diehard fan. But if you're a kid and you're watching the movie, you're like, this is freaking great. This is awesome. So overall, that movie was fantastic.
But I think you're right, though. Even with certain things that we can pick apart and everybody's opinions are different. I think they put so much fan service in it that you're watching it. And if you're like a hardcore gamer or even just somewhere in between and you like Mario, love Mario, wherever you lie, there's so much that you're just sitting there going, holy shit. Like there's just so much from the games in this fucking movie. Like you could literally every split second, you can just look around the screen and in the backgrounds and everything and just go, oh my God, like there's this, there's that. Yeah, they did an amazing job. Something I want to talk about though is Chris Pratt's voice. Chris Pratt's voice was initially something that I was concerned about when the trailers came out. A lot of people were, but I actually have to agree with Chris himself on this one when he said at one point, just wait, watch the movie in its entirety, then come back and give me your thoughts. And he was correct, in my opinion. Like he did a great job. It fits. It makes sense. They kind of even explained why it is the way it is in a creative way. Like when the movie opens up and it opens up with the classic Mario and Luigi plumber rap commercial. And in the movie at that time, I believe it's the first time that we hear their voices is actually in that commercial that they make. And it's actually the original style Mario and Luigi voices, the game reminiscent version, but it's Chris Pratt and Charlie Day doing the Charles Martinet renditions. And then momentarily thereafter, we're revealed that those higher pitched voices, Mario explains that they're a gimmick for the commercial, in order to get customers. And then we hear the Chris Pratt version of the voice, his actual version, not the Charles Martinet rendition. The same way that they explain why Mario's wearing the white gloves. They even make an explanation for that. And everything is a shtick. Everything is a gimmick for their plumbing company, for their commercial and everything like that. And I love that. I actually thought that it was a perfect first few opening moments to the movie. I mean, would you guys agree? Did you like Chris Pratt's voice? I mean, what did you think about all of that?
I loved it, man. I felt so bad at the end of that movie. I'm like, damn, there was a lot of people that were shitting on Chris Pratt just because of just whatever they saw on the trailers and stuff. But he was right. He was correct. He did a phenomenal job of executing Mario, and it made sense, like you said.
I think it fits.
So I had no issues. I had no complaints about that. The first 15 minutes of the movie, I loved so much. Like there were so many Easter eggs. There were so many things that they could just kind of keep going to. Like I loved how Luigi had the GameCube.
Yes, dude.
Music on his phone. I was like, come on.
The ringtone.
The ringtone, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, come on.
It's the GameCube startup sound is Luigi's ringtone, dude. I loved that.
Super Mario Brothers.
This is great.
And again, that's like the attention to detail. I think that's going to be the theme of this episode is a massive amount of attention to detail that Illumination and Nintendo put into this. But Rob, what do you think? Like Chris Pratt's voice, or I mean, any of the voices as well? Because I know Kelvin and we were talking in a group text when you guys all saw the movie, and I know Kelvin didn't really like Cranky Kong's voice, and I kind of side with you a little bit on that as well. I don't know what exactly I wanted from it, but that's the only one throughout the entire movie that didn't 100% hit the mark for me.
Right.
But it also wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, what the fuck? And like really complain about. Yeah. But it was just a noticeable thing for me. Like, Rob, where do you lie on Chris Pratt and other voices?
Yeah, I think everyone was being a little too harsh on Chris Pratt. I think one thing he said is like, I can't do the entire Mario movie in his like Italian like voice. You know what I mean? Like,
and would we want
it would
that?
get annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it would get annoying. You can't. When have you ever played a Mario game where he's literally talking the entire
the
time?
whole time. Never, it's a little much. It's a little much. Yeah.
So I think that, and you got to look at it Chris Pratt's point of view when he took this job. He knows that video games players are insane. Right? Yeah. And if he messes up Mario's voice, if he butchers it, it's going to destroy his career.
It's gonna,
he would be always known for that, for murdering Mario.
Holy shit! Yeah,
Mario
you're right. You're right. People would never let it go.
Mario.
Chris Pratt, the Mario murderer.
I'm not afraid.
Peach, there wasn't any point where she paid homage to like the original Peach voice actor or said any type of Peach type things. Like,
I guess you're right.
She's very bubbly in the game. She's like,
Peachy,
you know, like that.
Yeah.
You didn't really hear that in the movie.
True.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. They did a lot of Peach mannerisms, but they didn't do like when she floats and she pulls the dress up.
I was just gonna say that.
You know what I mean? They took those moments straight from the game. I think in some of like the more battle-esque scenes, they took some mannerisms from Smash Bros, if I remember correctly, but there's so much going on in the battle scenes. I was so excited trying to keep track of everything. But I think she did like movements and stuff that she does in the Smash games. But you're right, as far as like voice, did she even say any? She didn't say any lines, like dialogue either, right?
I couldn't pick up anything as far as what she said. So but again, she did an amazing job.
Yeah,
I can't really nitpick. So,
and this is us just being the gamers, like the hardcore gamers, like picking the little things apart. There's gonna be somebody in the comments that are gonna be like, "Can you guys just fucking enjoy the movie?" Like, no, we did, we did.
That's not fun. Yeah, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
If you want to hear us just say, "Oh, it was great, I loved it,"
yeah, we wouldn't have an episode.
Sure. There's nothing about it.
Yeah, we got to give both sides. Yeah,
exactly. That movie sold 500 million at this point.
I think that's where it's at right now and climbing.
Majority of people love the movie. Yeah. So, as far as Cranky Kong, like, I didn't like his voice acting that much. I just feel like he didn't sound wise. It didn't sound like it didn't fit his character, because to me, at least in the games, he just seemed like the wise one, the one that kind of like has all that stuff. This one, he just seemed like younger in his voice.
Younger is what I think it was. I think that I think you may have just hit it for me. Younger. I do like that voice actor whose name I can't remember right now.
Fred Armisen.
There it is. Yeah. I do like him a lot. Yeah, I like him too. But you're right. I think that's what it is. I think it was too young of a voice, maybe, for me, and that's why it rubbed me the wrong way.
But what about Donkey Kong?
You know what? I had mixed feelings about Donkey Kong, and then it turned into, when I heard him talk, I was like, this is literally just fucking Seth Rogen. But then as the movie went on, it became not a problem for me.
No.
But how would it be if Donkey Kong got his own movie, which I swear to God, I thought that was confirmed. Did they not confirm that a long time ago? Am I living in a Mandela effect? Because I swear to God, they announced that there was going to be a Donkey Kong movie, and then now they're saying it's a possibility.
But anything's on the table now.
I feel like it's going to happen.
Can we talk about another Easter egg that they had was like Diddy and Dixie Kong in the background?
Yes.
Family. That
was
fucking
dude.
I was so
Diddy
stoked
playing
the
Congo, the bongos and everything, dude. Oh man! Again, attention to detail.
They even showed those guys. I didn't think they were going to show them.
Yeah, I know. So not that much, at least. I thought they were just going to really be background, but they gave them a little bit of a spotlight and highlighted them. And Diddy even had a voice. I think he had one line, I believe, right? Didn't he have one line? Who voiced Diddy Kong?
I'm not sure. I don't think if it's like it was noted in there, but
I wonder moving forward if they'll put like a big star in there or just leave it with whoever. Yeah, you know what I mean? Did you guys notice, since we're talking about Donkey Kong real quick, did you guys notice when they came out of the water and they were riding I don't remember what it's called right now, but they were riding the little like rocket thing, the rocket barrel from Donkey Kong's cart, and they were just riding that. That's from the Donkey Kong games. That's literally a fucking moment pulled from the games and plastered onto the screen. And I'm just, again, attention to detail, man.
Seriously.
Did you guys ever call or hear anybody call the number that's on the Mario commercial, the rap commercial? Have you ever called?
What happened?
No,
I don't know. I've never done it. Let's call it. Let's call it right now.
Let's do it.
I have the number. I wrote it in my notes just in case.
Okay.
929 556-2746. Let's find out.
Okay, let's see.
I literally don't know. This is...
Brothers Plumbing. It's me, Luigi. And if you need service, please text us at the same number you just called. 92955 Mario. That's 929-556-2746. Message us about any issues wherever you live. House, condo, mansion, and we'll be sure to text you back right away because at Super Mario Brothers Plumbing, we don't say let's wait. We say let's go. Oh, and check our website, snbplumbing.com. We're still working on it, so more updates to come. Bye-bye.
Wow.
That was Bravo, Nintendo. I love it.
Bravo, Nintendo.
That is awesome, dude.
For super service, call or text Super Mario Bros. Plumbing today.
There's so many Easter eggs littered throughout this movie, man. And that's something that we've been talking about already. And I give Illumination and Nintendo themselves so much credit for the ability to just absolutely litter this movie with so many elements across so many different Mario games, from things that you see in the background to quick passing moments to full segments, short segments, sound effects, the full-fledged score. And that's what I mean when I say absolute fan service, man. The ability to throw in, what is it, like 38 years of Mario, 35 plus, I'll play it safe because I don't remember the exact, that'll have any gamer, just like you said earlier, Rob, going, oh, that, oh, shit, that, oh, look at that. Like, that is literally what happened throughout this entire movie. And just like you said as well, kind of aimed for kids, but I also feel like it's definitely, like, they knew their core audience as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's for the gamers. And I do think, just like you said, no matter your prior knowledge of Mario, I think there's something for everybody to enjoy because the attention to detail is just enamoring, such as, again, with the beginning segment of the brothers running through Brooklyn to get to the plumbing job, which that whole segment was
that 2D
the whole
platforming.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and when they're running, it turns into the 2D platforming, and there's like things littered throughout Brooklyn that are strategically placed to look like World 1-1 in the original Super Mario's movie and the game. And then I'm gonna do that a lot too. Game, movie. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of it all, Mario jumps and slides down the flagpole like a stripper, just like the games, dude. Attention to detail. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And there's several of those moments where it turns kind of 2D and it's laid out like a video game, such as when Toad is taking Mario throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, and then when they're running across the moving platforms and everything, and then when DK and Mario team up for the fight, and they're going through at the end, they're going through the fight sequence, and it's all side scroll as well. Like, obviously, you guys caught all those details. I mean, what are some of like the littlest details that you can think of, if you have any, that just caught your eye and you're just like, oh man, and it satisfied that gamer in you? Do you guys have any?
I think one was like the Super Punch Out, the Punch Out pizza.
Oh yeah.
That was a big
Hell
one.
yeah, definitely. That
was a big one. And then I think number one was the fact that they use the original voice actor was there in the beginning. Like,
yes.
That was playing a different character, playing literally a different character. That was hilarious.
He voiced a couple characters, by the way. I believe he voiced their dad too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he voiced their dad. He voiced the one playing the arcade game in the diner in the beginning, and I think there might have been 3, but I don't remember all of them right now. But I think there was 3 altogether that he voiced. But the first one you could tell 100%. You know what I mean? It was basically it's damn near just Mario's voice. You know what I mean, from the game.
That was great.
I know, Kelvin, you also mentioned like the GameCube ringtone and all that shit. Did you guys notice? Keeping in line with game consoles, did you guys notice that Mario himself was playing an NES in his room, and he was playing Kid Icarus, I believe.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes,
like,
I completely forgot. Yes,
it's like Nintendoception going on here. You know what I mean? Like, the mascot of Nintendo in a Nintendo movie is playing a Nintendo console, playing another Nintendo game. Like, what the fuck?
Already breaking those barriers.
Yeah,
MCU,
dude.
I feel like, you know what I mean? So
does that mean does that mean we'll never get Kid Icarus in a movie? You know what I mean? Because he's playing a Kid Icarus game.
No, he could go into a world, and then he goes into that world.
Oh shit! There's a pipe that could lead to that, and he gets like all, oh my god, like I used to play your game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Something like that. Yeah. That's
dude, there were so many moments. Again, you were talking about the 2D platforming. There was a part in the 2D platforming, I think, where you can tell that Mario was running similar to how he runs in Odyssey.
Oh yeah, he does it in a couple of games. He does it in a couple games, not just Odyssey as well. Like he does, but this is 2D. Yeah. But yeah, when he does the arm out,
love it. And the way he flips identical to that as well, with the galaxy and kind of like Odyssey feel to it. I just love that because that was real. Like you're paying attention to that, like particularly because that's like a real big thing. And then dude, I just feel like everything that they've done as far as like just keeping those little homage things, like just kind of like making sure that like even the Mario Kart scene, right, where you're like adjusting your cart and you're like adding things and doing all that stuff. Like
cart or
it looks like the UI from Mario Kart, dude.
It's like, come on,
they even have a big A button that Peach presses. Right. Yeah, I love it, dude.
It's just crazy, dude. I don't know. They went hard.
Let me get.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. The fact that Donkey Kong got the fire flower and was able to throw fireballs, has that ever been in any game?
No, not that I can think of.
Just for the movie.
But it does happen. It can happen in Smash Bros. Though, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He doesn't change color though.
He doesn't change color.
I don't think. Right.
That was a new iteration of Donkey Kong that we've never seen before.
Yeah, that was so freaking cool.
Yeah, like the design. Yeah, the design was different, but the mechanic happens, but only in Smash Bros. Only in Smash Bros. Because anybody can get a fire flower in Smash Bros. I am right about that, right? Yeah, I don't know why I'm questioning myself, but yeah.
It's just like a flamethrower at that point. You don't get to shoot fireballs from it.
Is that what it is? Is it just the flamethrower?
It's just a flamethrower. Yeah, it doesn't.
But is it the in Smash Bros. The icon? Is it a fire flower? Or is it different?
They literally pick up the fire flower and they use
the fire flower. That's what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
So
it's not the exact mechanic from the actual Mario games. Okay, I'm confusing it a little bit. That's why I'm questioning myself. Yeah, no, that design has never been a thing. I thought that was really cool at first. In the trailer and everything, there was a couple things like in the trailers that I wish they wouldn't have shown, like that maybe. But I get why they do it too. It's like for hype, you know what I mean? But like, maybe it's just me picking apart too many things. Like I would have loved to like be extra hype about that moment and be like, oh shit, like how we said, like we've never seen that kind of Donkey Kong before, like that design or anything. Like I don't know, but it's not the biggest deal in the world because it was cool.
But that was a moment, dude. Like that part should have been. I agree with you. That part should have not been shown in the trailer because. With Donkey Kong turning into like Fire Donkey Kong, whatever, right? And then the song in the background as well, like that. I was like I was really grinning from like
me too.
I was smiling all through that whole entire part because that was such a really cool moment.
I love when Seth Rogen's like, and in his voice, like yes, like you can tell, like he's just like super hyped to do it, and I'm just like yes,
yeah, dude. You know, the guys from the Falcon Pod made a good point. They were hoping to see the Donkey Kong wind up punch.
And didn't he kind of do it? He kind of did like or did he do the clap? He might have done the clap.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. That's one that I don't remember. As much as I remember this movie, I don't remember that. But I don't think he did the wind up punch. I feel like I would have remembered.
I don't think he did the whole thing. He didn't do like a whole like.
Did he do like I think you may be right. I think you may be right. He kind of did like a small one, kind of like an uppercut or a side punch, and then he kind of I don't know from something like that, right? But they were telling me they were hoping to see like a full wind up fucking punch and like knock somebody, you know? I mean, that would have been cool, but they things to say for the Donkey Kong movie, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
The Mushroom Kingdom, dude. The amount of things littered throughout the Mushroom Kingdom is literally a gamer boner overload, man. Pipes, boxes, coins, cheaps, store references to things that exist within the Mario universe. Even the Crazy Cap store from Super Mario Odyssey is in the Mushroom Kingdom, dude. A lot of things that we saw in the trailer, but much more fleshed out with sound effects and full-fledged moments ripped straight from the game and plastered onto the screen, dude, such as the antique shop alone, which was also in that poster, and I did an episode just picking the antique shop apart in a good way. And if you look in the movie, though, when Mario goes past the antique shop, you see 8-bit power-ups, 16-bit power-ups, which are also in the poster. And then in the poster, there was a Yoshi egg, and I don't remember seeing the Yoshi egg in the movie, but what we did see in the movie, and I'm curious if you guys caught this, was a Yoshi Coin, also known as the Dragon Coin, which is in like a glass case, which I think was in the poster, but it was the egg. But in the movie, it was the coin, which is from Super Mario World. And again, it's just like attention to detail. And I'm curious, what do those coins mean? Do they have a specific meaning in this film universe? You know, such as the coins that everybody seems to be collecting. They didn't really touch on if those really do anything. I'm assuming maybe it's currency. It's just currency in that world, even though that you can just get as many as you want, it seems. But I'm assuming maybe it's currency. Also, they don't really need to touch on it, but I'm just wondering, this is just the gamer in me picking everything apart. But I wonder if those Yoshi coins, those dragon coins, have an actual meaning, because it is behind a glass case, signifying that it's has some sort of importance. So, and we see all the Yoshis running. And then we know, huge spoiler, but this whole episode's a spoiler. We know that the Yoshi's coming. We see the egg, the end of the movie, the end credits. So does the coin signify that Yoshi's have some sort of meaning in this, in the Mushroom Kingdom? I wonder, So if you guys want to answer that, if you have thoughts on that, but also just, do you have any favorite moments from the Mushroom Kingdom itself? Because there's just so much going on in the Mushroom Kingdom.
I thought the gauntlet that Mario had to go through was really sick. That Peach put him through.
Yeah.
And
the training course.
Thing. Yeah. So that was really cool. The Mushroom Kingdom itself was really well done, where they showed like kind of like they zoomed out and you showed all the different pipes going up, and Mario obviously gets all sick because he has to go through a bunch of them. But really, it really felt like you were in the Mushroom Kingdom, like in the video game. So
yeah, it did.
Yeah. To answer your question about the currency, I think they just added that to see. Maybe they might use that as an importance in the future if this is kind of where they're going. Yeah. But I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like you're right. I feel like they kind of see Yoshi as like a higher, like
significance,
higher power or anything, higher significance or something like that. Because no one has a Yoshi.
Yeah, you're right.
The game. Right. And then you only see them kind of like in the wild.
Yeah, I was just going to say that they're just running wild. No one has one.
The last end credit movie piece to be of Yoshi. Like, I love Yoshi, obviously, like, that. Yeah. But for it to be like the last credit scene, like, I don't know. To me, I didn't think of Yoshi as like something that you would leave at the end. You know what I mean? I would feel like Yoshi should be. If anything, I would see like they would introduce Donkey Kong in the end or something. That would be a scene.
Somebody,
you know what I mean?
a big character. Yeah, moving
a big
forward.
character, exactly.
You're right.
Rosalina, I thought that was going to be something
especially
like
with having the Lumas there. Well, I guess one. yeah.
Fucking Luma, dude.
Was he not a highlight of the movie, dude?
Yes, dude. And I loved it.
Yeah, and I feel like yes, dude. I feel like that just kind of signifies that a Rosalina could possibly exist. And then with 100%. Peach saying, the galaxies and this and that, and then they have a Luma, that feels like Bowser has traveled into that area, whatever that may be, that they make it fit for film. You know what I mean? Because it's got to make sense for film that he goes and captures a Luma or something. I mean, not that they're going to show that, but I'm just saying that happened with, he's captured one. So there's obviously got to be, that's got to exist. Right. Luma's got to exist, and therefore, if Luma's exist, I feel like Rosalina exists.
Yes,
absolutely.
I feel like it.
The way they left Peach's story untold, opens up opportunities for Like we really want to talk about this, right? Like the whole NCU discussion, right? And I feel like that's. I'm hoping is what they're leaning towards. Like they're not saying anything, but it makes sense.
Yeah, like, there's no way they're not going to. Look how much money you made them. Look how much money you made them. They're 100%. Well,
there's a discussion to be had where like, okay, are they going to do an NCU but like have them connected, or are they going to have an NCU that is just kind of doing their own
movie
thing?
to movie,
they're not connected whatsoever, movie to movie, exactly. So. I don't know, man, but it just seems like they're heading in that direction.
Well, they made reference to Pikmin. Did you guys catch that? I did not catch that, but I saw a clip about it. It's not anything crazy. It literally could just be a random Easter egg. Apparently I think it's the kitchen to the mansion, the nice house that they go to or whatever it is. I don't remember if it's a mansion. It's an apartment, I think. It's just a nice apartment because it's New York.
Yeah. Their first gig.
Yeah, their first gig where they're fixing the toilet, I believe in the kitchen, it was in that apartment a Pikmin statue of like Olimar and the Pikmin, or it was like just the Pikmin by themselves. But that could just be a random Easter egg. But if it's more than just an Easter egg, then that means that that universe is aware of the existence of these little creatures called Pikmin.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. But it could just be nothing as well. So you guys, we just mentioned so many different things, and like you brought up the story, you brought up some stuff about Peach. I want to mention all of that. And then we talked very briefly, I think, about, did we say anything about power-ups? Yeah, we did, the fire flower. So I want to touch on that really quick. So many power-ups in this movie, way more than I thought that they were going to end up showing. From the Tanuki suit to the cat suit, the fire flower, the regular mushroom that makes you bigger, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because there's so many things that I'm so excited. Didn't Peach use the what's it called? The freeze flower, the ice flower?
Yeah, she's the ice. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like it's not the icy from Ice Climbers. I forget what it is, but she got
something, right?
Yeah, was it ice flower? I don't think it was ice flower.
I don't remember what it was, but I know she was throwing ice balls, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, it was towards the end, like again, another Easter egg, which is
what
like
the hell is that thing? Power-up's gonna bother
mushroom.
Me
the something, yeah. But I like while you looked at it, I liked the way that they did the mushroom power up, the regular mushroom power up, and he eats it. And by the way, he hates mushrooms. I like that. And then he grows bigger, especially after like the many times Peach kept calling him tiny. Like I thought that was hilarious, and I like that. And then he eats the power up. Like, did you guys have any favorite power ups, or do you have any power ups that you hope to see in the future?
I really like the cat power up. I thought that was
sick.
I think they did that cool. Justice. Yeah,
they did a really good job with that. That whole scene. Him fighting Donkey Kong was phenomenal. So I would like to see more of that and maybe a little bit more of him in the suit. But that was my favorite.
I think I think I'm gonna say it wrong, but the Tanuki suit.
Yeah, no, you said it right.
Like, yeah, the raccoon suit, whatever it is, and it was just so freaking awesome how he's just like racing the bill and just like trying to like. They really and the tail spinning the whole time, like the way they animated was just super well done. I didn't think it was going to be that. I was like, they're going to do the cat suit and that's it. No, they put that one in there too.
I got to tell you, you know what I'm hoping to see in the future? I have a couple of them, but I'll stick to two right now. One that I'm hoping to see is the cape from Super Mario World, only because I would love to see, and I think it would work perfectly in film, when he runs and he goes up, but then he slams down. How he does that in the games. I think that would work great in film, whether they turn it into a joke and he actually just falls and slams down. That could be funny. Or if he's doing it to like hit an enemy and he slams down and the enemies go flying. I think it could work perfectly in film. And then I also wouldn't be opposed to seeing the penguin suit and having him slide through.
That would be cool.
Like he goes and he meets the penguins. You know how Bowser, like Mario never met the penguins, did he?
Not formally, no.
No. Okay, so that would be great to explore later, and that would be a new Super Mario Bros. Franchise moment, you know? And Mario's meeting the penguins, and maybe they give him a penguin power-up, and he's sliding through the ice thing, and maybe it has to be like a sequence where he's got to get away, so he's sliding through the ice kingdom and doing all that shit in the penguin suit. I think that would be really cool. And I could sit here and name power-ups for days, but I'll stick to those two.
So I like where you're heading now, because I really want to touch on what things I could see improve, at least in part two. Maybe not talk about like all the things I didn't like and stuff, but maybe things that it can probably improve in part two. Yeah. I think the way they kind of had Mario and Luigi in the beginning was great, but we didn't see enough of that. I think Rob, you mentioned that to me when we were talking about it. And I agree. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't see enough of that throughout the movie. And I kind of wanted that. I wanted their connection.
The Mario Brothers, not the Mario movie, you know?
Yeah. Exactly, dude. Yeah. And I think both of their, I don't know, like them being together in their
dynamic.
Screen, thank you. Their dynamic was really well done, and I just wanted to see more of it. So I wish that was kind of played a little bit more.
I think I know why they did that.
What do you think?
No,
they're gearing up for a Mario Mansion movie. They want
Luigi's Mansion
to be the star. I think they gave us a little less because he's going to be the star of the show.
Are we going to get Year of Luigi 2? It's been like 20 years since that one moment they gave Luigi to shine. You know? No, I think it's been like 15 years or 10 years or some shit. But yeah, no, I hope that they do that. I think they gave us slight elements and feelings of that, with him being chased by the dry bones, going into the castle and closing the door, and it's all like, it's not Luigi's Mansion, but it's all very reminiscent of Luigi's Mansion. Yep. You know what I mean? Yes. I think they gave us hints of that, and they know people want it, because I'm seeing that being screamed all over the internet. Everybody wants to see more Luigi. I'm seeing that everywhere, and everybody says a Luigi's Mansion would just be perfect. I mentioned in the beginning of this episode that we're kind of running a little short on time. You unedited right now, we're looking at like 53 minutes. How are you guys doing though?
I got to do time in 10.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm okay for another 20 maybe.
Okay, let's cut real quick. I mean, not actually cut and editing, but let's switch it up real quick because I have two more things. I have one thing that I definitely want to talk to you guys about, and if we have time, we'll get to the other thing. But there's just so many things to talk about, so many things for us to touch on. We could be here forever, from the Bowser moments to all the phenomenal enemies in this movie to the immense amount of Mario Kart references littered throughout this movie in the Mario Kart segment. Diddy Kong playing the bongos was such an amazing touch. And just the entire DK family. We'd be here all day if we were talking about everything littered throughout the Mario movie. So I'll try to speed this up because I got so many more things that I'd love to talk to you guys about. But in the meantime, let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than Limitless Cosplay, spelled exactly how it sounds, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And this is of Limitless Cosplay and previous Cosplay of the Week, Master K, and that's master_K__ on Instagram. And this is a Halo series cosplay, Master Chief by Master K. I was throwing myself off there. So many different masters going on here. And then I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Vanek? I can't remember right now. Vanek 134 by Limitless Cosplay. And this is of them at PR Comic Con 2023. This is insane. And if you're just tuning in to the segment that's posted on Instagram right now of the Cosplay of the Week, we are joined by Rob and Kelvin of the Gaming Duo podcast, and we're talking about and picking apart the Super Mario movie and all this good stuff, and we're kind of speeding it up because these guys are running short on time. We don't have much more time here, but this is fitting because it is a full-fledged gaming episode. Haven't had one in quite a while, and Master K and Limitless, you guys have done an insane job with this. This is ripped straight out of the games, or even so straight out of the Paramount Plus series, because I know Limitless, you are actually looking forward to a second series of that, which I don't know, but I could have swore that got canceled. Do you guys recall?
The Halo 2, the part 2 of Halo?
Yeah.
Series? I haven't heard anything about it.
I haven't heard anything.
So that tells me that it probably is. Not that anyone really wants it right now.
Limitless does.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Everybody's got their feelings. I don't know. Unless it was just, I saw something and it was just somebody talking about the possibility of it and it's not confirmed. But I swear I thought I read something that it was canceled. But either way, it's not about that. It's about their amazing cosplay, which is phenomenally done from head to toe. I mean, quite literally, guys, like I usually pick this apart and like say specific details, but we all got eyes here, except for the blind people. And for them, I'm sorry.
They still have eyes. They just can't see.
They're just not working.
Yeah, they still got eyes. You know?
Blind people they hate us right now. Oh my God. Jesus. If you tune into this podcast regularly, it's pretty fucking expected. It's this kind of content's pretty expected. But this is amazing, guys. I usually pick it apart from like head to toe, but my God, man, like I don't even know what to say. It's literally ripped straight from the games, from head to toe. It's just phenomenal, dude. Like, I actually would love to have you guys on in the future sometime and kind of pick this apart with you and how you did it 100% and well, here it says that the custom top armor and shoulders for Limitless Limitless cosplay was done by Squall Disaster, and that's SQUALLDESASTER on Instagram, and the custom undersuit patterns were done by Gunhead Design. So I'd love to hear like how bulky it is, like what kind of material it is, and this and that, because it's just fucking insane, dude. It's fucking insane, man. And Jesus Christ, man. I usually throw up more than one cosplay, but we're running short on time here today, unfortunately, so I'm sorry, Limitless. I don't mean to shice you of an extra cosplay, but this is just so phenomenal. You guys got anything that you want to say about it? These guys are the Gaming Duo podcast. If Master K and Limitless, you guys don't know, so they're very well versed in many things gaming, so it's very fitting to have this and have them all of this in one episode. I mean, what do you guys think? You guys got anything that you want to touch on?
First off, this is sick. If I was walking in a convention and I saw this dude walking down, I would stop him and be like, I need a picture with you right now. Like I would stop insane, you and be annoying and be like, hey, please. I mean, I know like they like that stuff, but yeah, and it looks like if you look at the details, it looks like there's mobility to this suit. I know this armor is notoriously hard to walk around in because of just how bulky it is, but it looks like the way, if you look especially by the shoulders, it looks like there's a lot of mobility there.
Right. So they can move around. Yeah.
Move around, which is fantastic. And it's kind of hard to do in that big suit. So kudos to you. Like, this is sick.
I have no complaints. Like, there's nothing I'm literally, as you guys are talking, I'm trying to like pick apart. Well, they could have, worked on
right.
No.
There's no skin showing or anything. There's no flaws.
Like the boots, like the shoes, like you don't see, like everything looks like this guy's in a freaking suit.
Yeah, it's just crazy. On the hip, the pistol on the hip.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Yep. Fire.
My God, dude.
Well done, dude. Well done.
Even I don't know what it's called, but even on the chest there for Limitless's cosplay, for 134, because I don't know how to pronounce Vanek or Vanak, for 134, even right there on the chest, right below the chin, the tubes or whatever it is, like, I mean, even those, like, just flawlessly done. The little attentions to detail around the chin area and everything. I mean, my God, you guys, I mean, flawless. Absolutely flawless. If you're not following Limitless Cosplay as well as Master K, please go do so for all of their amazing cosplays. Limitless has a bunch of gaming cosplays that are absolutely phenomenal, and he also does 3D printing, and he has a lot of stuff for a lot of other people. Limitless has been mentioned here several times on other people's cosplays of the week and everything. Dude, you are phenomenal. Master K, you're a previous cosplay of the week. You are phenomenal. Go follow them for everything they do. Limitless Cosplay on Instagram, spelled exactly how it sounds, because Limitless Cosplay, your Halo Cosplay of the Week for me and the Gaming Duo podcast is amazing. Yes. We spoke about Peach training Mario. I'm going right into it, guys. We're wasting no time. We spoke about Peach training Mario, which, if you're a longtime Mario fan, when has that ever happened? Not ever. So I'm curious on your guys' thoughts of some of the story elements, the storyline of making Peach a more prominent character, a hierarchy, a warrior even. I'm not opposed to this in this setting because they made it make sense. This isn't your typical story of Mario saving Princess Peach. Rather, Peach has already been in the Mushroom Kingdom since a child. There's a storyline there that they actually touched on, a backstory that they gave her, or rather somewhat also a lack of. They created a backstory, but also a lack of the backstory in a sense, because Peach doesn't quite remember. She doesn't really know. During the flashback scenes where they show baby Peach, they even show baby Luigi and baby Mario, by the way.
That's
absolute
right.
amazing.
That's amazing.
Amazing. I love that. Another awesome thing, but showing the baby versions. But they state that she kind of just appeared in the Mushroom Kingdom. She just kind of came through a pipe, and Toads raised her, trained her, and made her a princess. So where you have Mario coming into this world and he's got no prior knowledge of anything, it actually makes sense that she is who she is, and she ends up showing him the ways, so to speak. This is the way. She's Mando and he's Grogu, What did you guys think of this departure from the games? Did you like this made for film rendition?
So I have to jet after this, but I'm gonna say this last thing before I head out.
Yeah.
So I think they did a great job transitioning to just the stereotype of just like Mario's gonna save Peach and that's it. Because I think we've all done that 800 times in the games. Right. And this actually has a story to it. And you're like, wait, what happened? Like, why is Peach what world did she come from? Did she come from the human world? Did she come from Kingdom Hearts world or something?
Right. Oh, that'd be great, dude. That'd be great.
It made the possibilities endless here with her backstory. And again, we've done that whole thing with Peach before. Like, we don't need to do it again. So I like that the fact that they're tackling other people's storylines and they're not necessarily making Mario the main character, which is fantastic. But with that, guys, Chazzy, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming last minute, man. Of course.
I appreciate you and you're the best. And
thank you, man. Tell people where they can find you real quick before you head out.
The Gaming Duo podcast. Go to thegamingduopod.com where you can get some nice merch that we're not wearing right now, but it's really awesome looking. Go ahead and do that.
It really is, though. It actually is.
Yeah. Chazzy wears his bed every night.
I do. Every night. It's true. I do.
Just rubbing the chest, just thinking of us.
Exactly.
Nipples,
every night I do.
Yes. But thank you guys so much.
Yeah, of course, man.
To you soon.
Thank you, man.
As always, amazing.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about all that? Like doing it like that rendition of Peach and all that stuff and made for film kind of storyline. Like, did you like it?
Great. I think they did a phenomenal job. I love Peach as a character in general. So her being like this badass, lead character, almost as if like this is more of a Peach movie than a Mario movie in a sense. Because
there was a lot of Peach.
Peach was saving her kingdom, and Mario just kind of stumbled upon this kingdom, and now his role in this is more so saving Luigi, but they're kind of tagging together. But like this is kind of like Peach's moment of like, I need to save Mushroom Kingdom, and I have no other choice but to work with Mario here. So I love that they did that. I love that they kind of gave her, like you said, a backstory, but not really a backstory, because it opens up so many possibilities for part 2, for again an NCU, like whatever they're trying to do with that. And it just, again, she flat out said there's other galaxies out there, and I don't know if I'm from another galaxy, if I'm from your galaxy.
I love that she touched on it in that way.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Yes, dude. So I love that they did that. I love that they gave her a strong character role in this, and just a badass character overall. So so they did a great job.
Me too. I wonder, again, I'm trying to look it up right now because I don't remember, but Daisy, Princess Daisy, right? Where is she from? It's right on the tip of my tongue, but she at first appeared in Super Mario Land on Game Boy. And man, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying not to waste time, but I'm trying to remember because I have a point. I think it's like, it's right on the tip of my tongue. There's a land that she's from. I can't remember. Somebody will hopefully correct me, but there's a land that she's from. It's like Burbudo or something like that land. And I believe it's in Super Mario Land, and it's where Mario's saving her, and then later down the line, they kind of tied her and Luigi together more, and later. Right. I wonder if that's going to appear at all, And I feel like it has to at some point, But is it going to be... I don't personally feel like it's going to be the storyline if they do include Daisy. Now we're kind of just getting into like NCU territory, Nintendo Cinematic Universe territory, and the future for however long you've got left to stay here. But I think there's a possibility of Daisy amongst many others, but I don't think it's going to be that Super Mario Land story of like Mario saving Daisy as well, because we didn't get that with Mario saving Princess Peach. Why would we have to have Mario save Daisy? If anything, it would kind of be cool if they did go a character saving a princess route, maybe have it be Luigi that saves Daisy.
Right.
And that creates a moment in the film of Luigi and Daisy coming together. You know what I mean?
Yes, dude.
Like that would be a cool thing. And maybe it doesn't have to be like the full-fledged point of the movie. Maybe it's in Super Mario Bros. 2 where they're exploring Mario and Yoshi's relationship, and kind of how you said earlier in the episode where Yoshi's means something. So maybe it means something that Yoshi gets attached to Mario, or Mario gets attached to Yoshi, or, that happens just in general, and it means something. And like the Toads are like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like Mario's got a Yoshi. You know what I mean? Like, and then maybe that's a portion of that story that's being told. But in the meantime, maybe, I know you said you want to see more of Luigi and Mario together, but maybe Luigi's off doing something else. And in the process, maybe it's also not so much of like he has to save Princess Daisy, but he just ends up saving Princess Daisy, and something happens. Like, I think that would be cool. Or if it doesn't happen in a Mario movie, maybe they change elements of Luigi's mansion and she's tied into that some way, shape, or form. I think that'd be cool.
What they need to do for the next iteration is develop more of these characters a little bit more. I think this was a phenomenal first start. I think what they did, again, the nostalgic feel of it, of like, here's the theme song to Mario. Oh, look at the 2D platforming. Oh, look at Rainbow Road. Like, that's all great, but the novelty of that ends, or that kind of ends rather quickly once you've seen the movie once or twice, or once time has passed. Like you kind of get over that. But if you oversee everything, you see the script for what it is, and it's like it's okay. Again, we talked about the whole Peach thing. I love that they added that to the movie, but overall, the story itself wasn't there. It wasn't what kind of held this movie, together in a sense. Yeah. So if they developed the stories a little bit, the characters a little bit more, again, if I saw more of Mario and Luigi, and instead of Mario trying to save Luigi, what if we had, Mario and Luigi, like Mario has to find Luigi, but not because he's just trying to find them because he's lost or whatever, but because he's the key to something. He needs him because this is the only way to beat Bowser, or this is like they need Peach, Mario, and
they
Luigi.
Need to be the brothers.
They need to be the brothers or something to like really beat Bowser because Luigi has a piece that they need. You know, he has some type of, you know, whatever the case is. That would have been a little bit more engaging story. And again, I love the iteration that they had of like them needing each other, especially when they were kids and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to say is like in part 2 or something, kind of flesh out these characters a little bit more so that we can kind of start getting the Daisies, the Rosalinas, and see where that story goes.
Yeah, I think so too. I kind of agree with you, man. I also feel like the way that this movie ended, it did show them like together, doing stuff together. And I feel like that's a good possibility of things moving forward. How did it exactly end? Because I know the Yoshi egg is in New York. But did the brothers go back to the Mushroom Kingdom at the end? Was that the last scene of them?
It seems it. Yeah,
right? They did. They went in the pipe and, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So I feel like that is also signifying, obviously, this is set up for various reasons, a sequel. You know what I mean? But I think that, in my opinion, that's also signifying that they're going to go on further adventures, obviously, in that world. Why would they continue exploring the human world? You know what I mean? It's a Mario movie. But I feel like they're going to be doing it together. If they do the same storyline where they split up, kind of like how you said, and they have to save one another, I don't know. Even if it turns out to like, where Luigi has to save Mario, I don't want that either, because that's literally just the same thing, just reversed.
Exactly.
So I would kind of like to see them together, or if it's not together, like I said, maybe they split up to do different things, but it's not to save one another. It's because they're just doing something else. It just happens to be that. You know what I'm saying? So that would be great.
Sorry, but my fucking chair just fell.
Did it?
It just like dropped down.
Oh, I didn't see it. I looked at my monitor right when it happened. I heard it, but I didn't see it. So on screen, you just like,
oh shit. Trying not to like show face and shit. I couldn't help but laugh.
No, I love it, man. I love it, dude. I mean, we did an episode. How much time you got left?
About 10.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay. We did an episode. I had done an episode when I think one of the trailers came out, I believe, and then the poster, and I called it the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and I kind of touched on what I would like to see if Nintendo created a cinematic universe, and that was a very long time ago. And then you and I and Rob did a part 2 of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and we went much more in depth, created our own Nintendo Cinematic Universes that we would like to see. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen, you probably haven't because you don't get the notifications. It's on my shit. But those posts are blowing up, both on YouTube Shorts, even more so now. You know what I mean? Because it's being talked about more. Those posts are re-blowing up on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. And there's like tons of people that obviously agree with us, like our stuff. But the one thing that we are just getting our asses handed to us about is the same thing over and over. And it's because we included elements of characters that aren't, I think it was mainly me, that aren't specifically Nintendo, like Sonic. Like Sonic. I include Sonic. Sure. And there's so many people, and I just want to address it, that are constantly like, Sonic's not a part of Nintendo. What the fuck are you talking about? No shit!
We know that.
Like, obviously, I don't think there's a soul on Earth, even if you're not a hardcore gamer, that doesn't know Sonic is not Nintendo. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's a mom somewhere, you know what I mean, that doesn't know. But I'm just saying, we know. We get it. If you paid attention to when we put it together, we stated that it was our Nintendo Cinematic Universe. And even on the graphics, if you just read the graphics, guys, it says our Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and then it'll even state the name. So I just want to preface that. We know. We lived through the console wars of the 90s, man. But now that we have this actual movie, but go check out that episode if you want to see it. The whole episode is also re-blowing up again as well. And it's a really cool episode. And we picked it apart. We laid out our exact Nintendo Cinematic Universe, what we would like with some storylines and some backstories. Mine ran on way longer than theirs did, but it was a very cool episode, I think. And then now maybe we'll do like another one later in the future where we go more in depth, you, me, and Rob. And that's like the core bread and butter of the episode. But just briefly, now that we have the actual movie out, elements of many things in Nintendo in this, even with little Easter eggs of Pikmin, shit like that. Now that it's a thing, what can you see moving forward? And we don't have to get like crazy about it, but just to round this episode out, you know what I mean? Like just off the top of your head, what can you actually see that you think would come to fruition? Even if it's still in the Mario universe, just them moving forward with this universe in general.
I mean, they can go so many ways now. I feel like the way they laid out this movie, I don't know for sure. I think we still need to see a couple more movies to see where they're going to head to. Yeah. But we can definitely see that they're going to make a Donkey Kong movie. Yeah. We can definitely see that they're going to make, some sort of iteration of Luigi, whether it's Luigi's Mansion or just a different standalone movie. Yeah. I can definitely see those things happening. One thing that we mentioned in the last episode, I don't know if it was me, Rob, or both of us, we mentioned Detective Pikachu. Yeah. During that time, Detective Pikachu 2 wasn't announced. Now it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has any difference in any situation of that kind of happening. Again, I talked a little bit about it earlier where it's like, do people want an NCU that connects? Right. Or do people want an NCU that's not connecting? It's just kind of like standalone movies and that's each their own. But there's so many ways that Nintendo could go, whether it's like having Star Fox and then having some type of Metroid connection, like those things can definitely happen. Like I feel like Star Fox is like the Guardians of the Galaxy of the MCU, right? And it's like those things could definitely happen. And I can definitely see that happening sooner rather than later. But as far as how they're going to implement that, I don't know. Again, I think this is a good start.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see what they do with 2, 3, maybe the next iteration of whatever Nintendo is making to see where they're going. Donkey Kong. Yeah. Because overall, for me, I would love to see Super Smash Brothers, right? Yeah. That's the end goal for me. Whether they do that or not, we'll see. But if they do that, and that's why we were mentioning the whole Sonic and stuff like that, because we know it's not part of it.
It leads up to the end goal here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking idiots.
God damn it.
Come on. No, but in all seriousness, that's what we're trying to get to. But we'll see. I think we're still too early to tell.
Yeah, I think so. I again, we'll touch on this much more deeply. We are going to get ready to get out of here, but we'll touch on it much more deeply in another episode. I think there's an audience for it now, even more so. People are constantly talking about it left and right, and I think as time goes on, there's going to end up probably being a lot of podcasters that will do what we did first and create the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and our episode will just get left in the fucking dust.
Of course.
Even though we were the first ones to do it. But I think we should do it again and talk about a lot more. I think there's a lot more room to talk about it, but I just briefly want to say something before we do head out of here is during my segment of my creation of the NCU, I kind of touched on that I didn't quite know, and I was kind of I included Sonic and Detective Pikachu, and we talked about like some of those are live action. The Mario movie's not. How do they incorporate that? Well, there could be ways where they do it, like through pipes, kind of seeing how they did with incorporating New York with the Mushroom Kingdom, even though it's still all animation. I think there's ways to do it, but I'm going to kind of recant. That's the word, right? Recant. I'm going to kind of recant on that statement and say, now I kind of feel like they all should be done by Illumination to have cohesiveness to it. I think Illumination did such an amazing job. I feel a little bit more like everything should be animation and it should all kind of be the same style. I think that would just fit better, especially if we're going to lead up to kind of like a Super Smash movie type situation scenario. I think that would fit really well. I do still think though that a Legend of Zelda live action in the style of like Lord of the Rings or something, The Witcher, could be fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
But I also no longer see them doing something like that. I don't think that's
Really?
I personally don't think Nintendo is going to do that. I think if they do Zelda, it's going to be...
Man.
Didn't they announce that a Zelda is a possibility?
I don't know, but I
think they did.
Just based off of what we've seen, there has to be a Zelda in the works at some point. You know what I mean? I don't know how the art style, animation style is going to look like because, again, like if you look at Star Fox, if you look at Metroid Prime, they have to really change the tone for those games because in a sense they're more darker, especially Metroid, right? It's more like a darker scene, and this is obviously the opposite of that. Yeah. But I don't know how they would kind of make that kind of work together, but Zelda, man, they would be losing an opportunity there if they don't.
Yeah, they said it's not confirmed, but it's been highly rumored amongst
dude.
people, apparently, just from sources, which I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know who the sources are. But it's been highly rumored that Nintendo has had talks about creating a Zelda movie. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. There's so much more that I'd love to talk about. We're going to have to save it for another time, dude. Thank you so much for coming, dude, for last minute. Thank you to Rob for coming as well. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you? Because I don't know if you want your personal Instagram out there or not. I usually do a little bit of the outro and everything. But and there's so much more that I wanted to do, but this was like a whole different episode. Because now I do the whole like shotgun questions segment, where I ask people like random questions. I wanted to do that with you, and it gave me an opportunity to do like some gaming ones that I kind of keep them cosplay centric, but we don't have the time, so we'll have to do it on the next one, man. But yeah, so I want to give you the floor. Say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, and let everybody know where they can find you, man.
My personal Instagram, Kelvin_TKV_Rolong. And you can obviously find me on the Gaming Duo Pod. Even on our website, the gamingduopod.com, you can find all our content there, our merch as well. And same thing on Twitter, except for my personal account. Twitter is @FoxPhotons.
Yeah, man. And the Gaming Duo, they got amazing merch. I usually have merch back here, man. And I was actually going to put your guys' merch on the back of the chair, and I forgot. So like, we're doing so many things, and we're shooting early in the morning. I usually don't shoot this early. It's earlier for me, not so much anymore, but it's earlier for me. So I usually don't shoot this early in the morning, but we had to make this work. I really wanted to get this episode out. I'm going to be in Vegas next week during the duration of this episode, Anime Las Vegas. So if there's anybody watching this that is in the Vegas area or is going to Vegas April 22nd and April 23rd, if you see me out there, come say hi to me. I'm hosting the Death Note panel. I am hosting the anime music video contest. I'm going to be on the Mario versus Sonic panel. I am a guest on that. I am a panelist. And I'm also going to be on the official Anime Fire panel, talking all things Anime Talks and Anime Fire and the projects that we've got coming up, which I announced, gave an exclusive to the Gaming Duo Pod about a project that I am writing and directing. And it will be premiering on Anime Fire when that happens. I gave an exclusive to the Gaming Duo Pod. That episode is out right now with Colin K. Bass and I on their episode. Go check it out. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Project Podcast. When you go down and hit that big red subscribe button and it goes boom, and you get 100 sexy project points. What are we doing with those project points, man? I don't know. Watch the Mario movie and figure it out. They don't even know what they're doing with their coins in their fucking movie, so I don't know what I'm doing with mine either. I'm trying to figure it out. Thank you for watching and listening on Spotify. Follow and rating, doing all those beautiful things that you do. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHatesChazzy. That is my personal Instagram. And and anything else, you need to find me on the TikTok, the Twitter, and all that stuff is on the screen right now. And if you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it on Instagram at Side Project Podcast. Remember, that's project with a K. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, for Rob, for Kelvin, for the Gaming Duo Podcast, we are out of here. Go watch the Mario movie if you haven't.
Hell yeah.